It's become the text chain seen round the world. But is the story really what we think it is? And are we asking the right questions? Media outlets have been fascinated with the signal chat between several senior Trump officials concerning whether, when, and how to strike Houthi terrorists who have been allowed to operate with near impunity for years by the Biden administration. Even the Wall Street Journal, their headlines were blaring "Signal Chat Blunder shows pitfalls of Trump's ad hoc approach to foreign policy." Ad hoc foreign policy? That's not what's in this chat, first of all. Press and Democrats have spent a decade driving this message that there is some kind of Trump MAGA monolith where the president only surrounds himself with people who reflexively agree with every one of his positions all of the time, and staff have little to no role in decision-making, or there's no discussion at all. What the Signal Chat shows us is a healthy discussion about the merits, timing, and consequences of the military action. The fact that there is some measure of what was thought of as a private disagreement among them or between members of the team and the president is actually a very good thing. Private disagreements and healthy discussion among senior leaders in any administration is necessary to provide the president with a full understanding of the issues and the options. What the chat also exposed is that Trump is ultimately in control. That's the way that this is supposed to work, folks. This should be a breath of fresh air to Americans who have spent the last number of years wondering who is actually running the country. In the end, the senior leaders on the chat understood who would make the final decision. Their conversation was substantive and collegial, with the officials even respectfully correcting the senior man on the thread, Vice President J.D. Vance, over the percentage of shipping through the Suez Canal. Secretary Hegseth was the classifying authority for the information that was shared on the app, so even if any of it was classified, which he denies, he would have had the ability to share it at his discretion with appropriate personnel. What we saw was a frank discussion of a successful use of U.S. military force against an adversary, an Iranian proxy. What we saw in that conversation was U.S. surgical leadership leveraging our clear military advantage over European and Middle Eastern powers after years of our assets being used as paperweights by the Biden White House. But the contents of the text chain is not the story here, as much as the media might want to make it out to be. The bigger questions that should be asked are about Signal itself. Signal was founded in part by a guy named Brian Acton, who worked at Yahoo in the 1990s and then sold WhatsApp for billions of dollars to Facebook. He then purportedly helped found the Signal Technology Foundation as a nonprofit during the Obama years. The app reportedly gained popularity during the George Floyd riots of 2020 among activists and then dramatically increased its usage during the Biden presidency. This is a free public app developed by a Democrat activist. Here's CIA Director John Ratcliffe.
So that we're clear, one of the first things that happened when I was confirmed as CIA Director was Signal was loaded onto my computer at the CIA, as it is for most CIA officers.
Why would a private application, largely owned and operated by a nonprofit organization connected to a prolific left-wing donor, be on government computers at the highest level in the first place, unless the organization and the government had previously established some kind of relationship? Let's be clear. In order for that app to be installed on the computers of senior administration officials, the government and the intel community would have had to have either plussed up its capabilities or understood exactly how the firewalls and the algorithms work to ensure its security. That lends some credence to the idea that the federal government has long had a full understanding of Signal's systems, including how to punch through them and therefore possibly monitor conversations. The fact that this is an outside organization linked to the left also means that there is a possibility outside forces could be utilizing the platform to spy on users. We don't know. Is this a long-standing ruse? The individuals on the text chain would have been given enough information all to feel comfortable having such discussions utilizing the application. They would have been given clearance to do so by career government IT personnel when they were briefed on operational security upon entering office. There is no way that all of those experienced senior-level individuals, to a person, participated in a chat that any of them understood to be of questionable security. They had to have been told by the intel community or by some career government source that its use was permissible. According to the IRS, in 2023, the Signal Technology Foundation took in more than $22 million from anonymous sources. Brian Acton's other nonprofits, Acton Family Giving and Solidarity Giving, help fund a whole range of radical left-wing causes, including the ACLU Foundation, the Council on American Islamic Relations, the Center for Reproductive Rights, the Climate and Clean Energy Equity Fund, Forward.us, the Anti-Second Amendment groups, the Planned Parenthood Federation of America, the Lambda Legal Defense Fund, and the Southern Poverty Law Center, among many others. So, is it a monitoring tool for the government or the far left? How deep does the Signal federal government intel community relationship go, if there is one? We know the Biden administration established a government censorship complex. We know the Obama administration, through Operation Choke Point and the CFPB, attempted to monitor Americans' activities in unprecedented ways. That's public information at this point. Is Signal use by the government a way to funnel taxpayer money to a nonprofit that then doles it out to left-wing activists? We don't know. We reached out to Signal to discuss these matters, but did not receive a response. They don't even put a phone number on their website for inquiries. So is it just a coincidence that just as DOJ is exposing deep state relationships with the far left and corruption in the executive branch, that Signal is exposed in this way, or a liberal publication like The Atlantic is being put inadvertently on a text chain about a successful military operation? For all the talk about what happened on the text chain, we really should be wondering why the app is being used by the government in the first place. And could it be a tool for the radical left or the deep state in some fashion? We may never know all the answers here, but this so-called scandal runs a lot deeper than emojis and over, the blasting the Houthis.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.